Institutes can act like rosin for a violin or a tuning fork for a guitar. Just as rosin enhances the bow's effectiveness without making the music itself, institutions, well, they facilitate rather than determine the performance of societal functions. They don't dictate progress, but they keep it in tune, guiding behavioral norms and upholding social order. From a functionalist perspective, these institutions operate as interdependent parts of a larger system, each contributing to societal stability and cohesion, according to Creswell. They establish norms, mediate interactions, and ensure that individuals play their roles in harmony with the collective. However, conflict theory challenges this harmonious view by emphasizing how institutions often reinforce existing power structures and perpetuate inequality, as Schutt points out. Much like a musician's access to quality rosin or a well-crafted reed can profoundly shape performance, access to institutional resources is often unequal. Institutions may appear to offer support, but the rosin they provide varies in quality. Those with privilege, or those who fit specific criteria, can receive tools that enhance their performance, while others are left with substandard materials, forced to work harder for the same sound. In this way, institutions can mask exclusion behind the guise of order, preserving systemic imbalance beneath the surface of social cohesion. Meanwhile, symbolic interactionism focuses on the micro level, exploring how individuals interpret and give meaning to their interactions with institutions, as Geertz discusses. Early socialization, especially within family structures, serves to shape the symbols, values, and expectations that influence which institutions individuals trust, resist, or align with later in life. And as Pierre Bourdieu suggests, our accumulated social and cultural capital deeply informs these choices, embedding personal history within broader institutional dynamics.
The term nuclear family first appeared in the early 20th century. The American dictionary Merriam-Webster dates the term back to 1924, and the British Oxford English Dictionary has a reference to the term from 1925. So, the term is relatively new. The phrase is taken from the general use of the noun nucleus, which originates in the Latin nux, meaning nut, or the core of something.
In its most common use, the term nuclear family refers to a household consisting of a mother, a father, and their children, all living in one household dwelling. George Murdoch, an observer of families, offered an early description. The family is a social group characterized by common residence, economic cooperation, and reproduction. It contains adults of both sexes, at least two of whom maintain a socially approved relationship, and one or more children, own or adopted, of the sexually cohabiting adults. Many individuals are part of two nuclear families in their lives: the family of origin from which they are offspring, and the family of procreation for which they are a parent. Alternative definitions have evolved to include family units with same-sex parents, adoption of members, and perhaps additional adult relatives who take on a cohabiting parental role. David Fincher's The Social Network, released in 2010, offers a compelling examination of institutions, functionalism, conflict theory, and symbolic interactionism, all framed through the rise of Facebook and the shifting digital landscape. The film is more than just a biographical account. It's a study of how technological institutions shape social structures, power dynamics, and identity. Facebook, as depicted in The Social Network, functions as a modern institution, a digital framework that dictates how individuals communicate, interact, and establish social hierarchies. Institutions traditionally provide stability and continuity, but this film challenges that notion by portraying Facebook as a disruptive force, one that reshapes social norms and leaves behind fractured relationships and ethical dilemmas. From a functionalist perspective, Facebook serves as a tool that enhances connectivity, reinforces communication, and fosters social integration. The film highlights how digital platforms streamline interactions, much like institutions traditionally serve a stabilizing function in society. Just as functionalism emphasizes interdependent structures, Facebook emerges as a digital institution that provides order by facilitating human connection, though admittedly in an increasingly commodified form. Conflict theory, which focuses on inequality, competition, and institutional power dynamics, is, deeply embedded in the social network. The film dramatizes the battles over ownership, control, and access, illustrating how wealth and status dictate influence in institutional settings. The legal disputes between Mark Zuckerberg, Eduardo Saverin, and the Winklevoss twins underscore the power struggles within capitalism, revealing how institutions can reinforce social divisions rather than eliminate them. Facebook, originally envisioned as an egalitarian platform, has become a battleground for dominance, reflecting conflict theory's assertion that institutions often serve the interests of the powerful. At its core, the social network is a symbolic interactionist study of how digital platforms shape individual identities. Symbolic interactionism emphasizes how meanings are socially constructed through interaction, and the film explores this through Zuckerberg's evolving persona, from socially awkward coder to industry titan. His interactions with others, especially in the legal battles and social betrayals, reveal how symbols, like status, exclusivity, and algorithmic decisions, dictate power, social acceptance, and self-worth in the digital age. The social network offers a rich examination of institutions, functionalism, conflict theory, and symbolic interactionism, all within the framework of digital transformation. As Facebook emerges as a dominant institution, the film critically questions its role in shaping identity, perpetuating inequality, and redefining human connection. The movie suggests that while institutions like social media promise accessibility and interaction, they also reinforce hierarchies and power struggles, transforming social norms in ways that are both liberating and, honestly, a bit unsettling. What role do institutions play in society? Social institutions, such as family, education, religion, and government, structure patterns of behavior and interaction. They provide frameworks for societal order, stability, and continuity by establishing norms, distributing resources, and shaping individual identities. According to Giddens, institutions help embed social practices in time and space, giving predictability to social life. They aren't just static structures, but are maintained and reshaped through daily interactions and collective recognition of legitimacy. How do functionalism, conflict theory, and symbolic interactionism explain social dynamics? Functionalism, think Durkheim and Parsons, views society as a system of interrelated parts. Institutions work together to maintain equilibrium. For example, schools don't just teach, they transmit cultural values and prepare individuals for societal roles. Social problems arise when these institutions fail to fulfill their functions. Durkheim argued that the division of labor in society increases solidarity by fostering interdependence. Conflict theory, like Marx and Mills, emphasizes power struggles and inequality. Institutions serve dominant groups by legitimizing their control and perpetuating inequality. Education, for instance, might reproduce class hierarchies under the guise of meritocracy. Marx contended that the ideas of the ruling class are in every epoch the ruling ideas. Symbolic interactionism, think Mead and Bloomer, focuses on micro-level interactions and the meaning individuals assign to symbols and behaviors. Social dynamics are shaped through communication and subjective interpretation. Institutions are fluid and only exist through repeated enactment. Bloomer stated that human beings act toward things on the basis of the meanings that the things have for them.